Good afternoon to all of viewers on MAQ TV. Today we are joined, very privileged to be joined by the manager of the very successful Trinbago Knight Riders. They're the most successful team in the history of the Caribbean Premier League, and he will be spending the next 25 minutes to half an hour with us, just telling us, what is expected this year, a bit about his history as well, and whether or not he won all those lovely trophies at the back of him as a player or a manager. He's a top-notch manager. He has been highly rated here in the West Indies, and we're very, very happy that Colin has joined us. Just to give you a bit of information on him as well, he was the manager of the T20 Red Force, very successful at that, took them to their first Champions League tournament, and also he served as manager of the team as well. Good afternoon, Colin, and thanks for joining us.
Nice to hear. I think it's the first time I've been on MAQ TV, so privileged. Thank you very much.
Yes, and on MAQ TV last week was your communications director, TKR, Ashin Gupta. He spoke highly of you, and it's good that you're here now so that we can speak, we can continue the conversation with CPL. What's the situation with your team? Of course, I know that there's still information coming to hand that the CPL more than likely will be played. We don't know where and when, but it was originally carded for August the 19th. What's the latest with that? Any news?
Yeah, still conversations happening. Certainly, there's a lot to be discussed in terms of the safety, obviously, of the players. If we do have patrons, the media like yourself, the security assurance, there are a lot of things behind the scenes that have to be ironed out. And of course, CPL and not all franchises will take the guidance of the medical team. So there's a medical team that's advising the CPL officials and by extension, the owners of the respective teams. And once those things have been put in place and it seems feasible and viable, certainly then we'll be prepared to go. But I can tell you from all of the people surrounding CPL in terms of the personnel and players, we're eager to play. Obviously, guys want the tournament. It brings a lot of excitement in the Caribbean, but we've got to be patient and methodical in the way we do things.
Yes, and of course, with this COVID virus around, you have to be careful. We're very lucky in Trinidad and Tobago. No one has it at this point in time. The key is when the borders are reopened to the regional and international family. That is going to be key. The CPL is carded for August the 19th. The way things are going here in Trinidad and Tobago, it's not totally out of the realm that the borders could be opened by then.
Yeah, so far, because you quite rightly mentioned, we've been very fortunate in terms of the way it was managed initially. The borders were closed early, and we were fortunate even after Carnival that we didn't have any large breakout. But having said that, we're beginning to bring things forward on that phase 6 plan by the government of Trinidad and Tobago, and they're bringing it forward by a couple of days. We expect in the next couple of days that again, more of Trinidad and Tobago will open up. But regarding the borders are the key, and ultimately, where we're going to start, we're going to start regionally first with the borders, and then internationally. It's also dependent on the islands, whether the Caribbean islands open the international borders because of tourism. So those are things I'm quite sure CARICOM is discussing very fervently now. And those things are the things that are going to guide, one, if we do regional only, how are we going to manage players from the other islands coming in? And two, do we go with foreign players or not? And those things then open up another phase where we've got to do quarantine. What are the procedures and so on? So there is a lot of things that have to be implemented. But not insurmountable, I may add. It's not something that is...
Well, in the Caribbean itself has not been badly affected, to be honest. So I guess playing it with the Caribbean players might be less of a risk as to opening it up to the world. I guess all these are conversations that the CPL, the owners of the CPL will be having with the respective governments in the region, and of course the team owners as well. But is it difficult to know that as a manager of a franchise, is it difficult for you personally to help prepare for this tournament, not knowing when and if it will come off?
Yeah, good question. Certainly, in terms of our logistical movements, it's all dependent on what is presented to us. Of course, the conversations have been had. Ultimately, if we're going to go to heat, certainly it's going to be a camp a week before. So you're looking at mid-August for players to assemble. Obviously, players have not played cricket for several months, so you've got to have a period where they're going to start getting themselves prepared, because as much as you can do indoor training, there's nothing like match fitness, and there's nothing like that short burst that you're going to take on a field, and things can happen in terms of injuries and so on, and how do we treat with that? So between the medical team and of course the owners of each of the franchises, there are private conversations happening, how we think we prepare. So it certainly is going to be, if it does happen, and it happens in the next 2 or 3 months, certainly we're going to move and have to move extremely quickly. That in itself will determine, one, where the venues are going to be. You certainly have to identify the venues and the areas and the places that can manage this. Manage 6 teams playing, maybe 6-day games in one round. How do we manage those things? How do we manage the logistics of television? Those things will set up first, and then we come in after to find our way through that maze to ensure that we have a harmonious and smooth passage throughout the tournament. So there's a lot to be done, and it's going to be done in a short space of time.
I guess if they're cornering countries to say, well, at least venues that can manage 34 matches, some of the small islands, I think, may well miss out. I think the bigger islands that could have 2 or 3 first-class venues, they may well come into the mix then.
Yeah, certainly, and also for logistical reasons, if you're gonna, when you start shrinking the available grounds, then you shrink the available options to play on grounds, and then what may happen is you start doing double headers. So maybe double headers are something they may want to consider, because if you pick a suitable grounds and there aren't many to choose from because of logistics, then what you have to do is probably run double headers also.
I guess that makes a lot of sense, Colin. At the end of the day, you know, CPL will do what they have to do to get the players on the park, because CPL has grown tremendously well over the years. CPL has really taken its place in the international T20 calendar. I think everyone looks at the CPL now.
Yeah, it's 7 years old now. This year would have been its 7th year. Certainly, when we first started, it was red steel at the time in Trinidad. And it was a new concept coming to the Caribbean. There were a lot of things that happened over that period of time in terms of moving away from the traditional Trinidad and Tobago, all Trinidad and Tobago players versus Guyana, and that rivalry that existed for many years. The general feeling was that they were breaking up the teams, and they were breaking up Trinidad and Tobago, who had been so dominant for years, and because a lot of the players, the icon players, started going off. Remember, Sunil Narayan was in Guyana first, Kyron Pollard was in Barbados, so players were being separated. So we had to work through that. There were a lot of things about whether or not we move on immediately from red force into red steel. But I think over time, and the fans were really good in accepting that there was France to just national cricket, and the model has changed. And I think after 7 years, people quite understand now what it is about. It's all around the globe, and they quite enjoy it. So it has to say that it has been successful in that transitionary period.
And of course, you know, now 2020, your team, you've won 2 titles. You were beaten in 3 titles actually. You were beaten in the semi-finals last time around. Should the CPL come off this year, I'm sure you'll be looking to get back to winning ways.
Yeah, very much so. I can tell you, you know, titles are difficult to come by. Yes, we've won 3, but you've had to work really hard and plan really well for it. And it requires some luck along the way. It requires some heartbreaks along the way, you know. When each game that you lose, it's not a nice sight to see a dressing room after a game. You know, when people say that players, they just play for the money and so on, it's not so. These players, they hurt badly. We all do when you lose games, particularly in the knockout phases when you've gotten to the semi-final and lose by 13 runs. We were going for that 3rd in a row, and it didn't happen. We thought we had the right team. We thought we built the right squad for it. We were fairly unlucky along the way too, losing Sunil Narayan for 5 games. I think it was. Darren Bravo missed the first 4, and then he struggled with, he had gotten a head injury. Dwayne Bravo was a major one out early. So we had to make some adjustments in terms of the lineup and format that we would use. Those are key players to miss. If Darren Bravo is not on song, Sunil Narayan is pretty much out and Dwayne Bravo is out. Then you relied heavily on Colin Munro, who didn't have a great season last year. So Lendl Simmons was fantastic and a great replacement. But we struggled in some areas, but we still managed to get to the point where we got to a semi-final. And when you're 13 runs away at home from winning a final for some mistakes that really should not have been made, but that's how the sport is, it hurts. So I mean, as a group, collectively come back now, everybody's assembling, and we have our eyes certainly on the prize should that happen again in 2020, no doubt.
Yes, and you know, you're speaking to an American audience here as well, and their poster boy Ali Khan plays for your team. You're his manager, Ali Khan. Tell us a bit about Ali Khan as a player and also on a personal note.
Oh gosh, Ali Khan is a top guy, man, great guy. When Ali Khan first, well, prior to Ali Khan coming out here, Ali was had met Dwayne in the MAQ series, which is shows that really exposes players out of North America by being able to bring in professional players, global players into that tournament. I think that's a brilliant idea. And we were supposed to sign him in Canada at the time. We were going to bring him into TKR. And I was doing the GT20 in Canada, and I remember him taking off to go to, I think he was going to the waterfalls, or I think he was going to the waterfalls on a boat. And I called him and said to him, hey, what you doing now? And he said, I'm standing on the boat. I said, you want to sit down for a bit? So we had a nice conversation, and when we brought him on board, and from day one, he had said he always wanted to come to Trinbago Knight Riders. He had played 1 year with Guyana. I think he maybe got 2 or 3 games. He didn't get as much exposure as he felt he needed. And from the day one he came in, he settled in with his team beautifully. He settled into Trinidad wonderfully. He's well liked in Trinidad. He's a Trini, you know, he doesn't have a passport, but he's one of our boys. He's, as a person, he's a gentleman. He's really a nice guy. Very respectful, always willing to learn, works very hard. I give him that his work ethic is good. And I wish that, my wish for Ali would be that he would get more opportunities globally. I think he's a player that needs to keep playing cricket as well. I don't think he's playing enough cricket in a 12-month calendar year. I think that's the only way he can improve. I saw an article with him talking about him maybe wanting to come out to Trinidad and play 4-day cricket. I think it's a brilliant idea. I think he needs that work under his legs, but certainly as a cricketer, he's smart. He learns really quickly. You know, the key to him is that he listens. So when he's in the dressing room and having conversations with the senior players, he asks a lot of questions. It doesn't matter if he's very popular in Trinidad or he's getting wickets. He still asks a lot of questions, and I think that is important for any young cricketer to feed and use the opportunity when you get such great players around you that have played globally to ask questions about how to play in different conditions and different scenarios. And that, for me, is a key component of Ali, is that he listens, he absorbs, and he works at whatever formulas you give to him. And he trusts in his senior guys to help him. He's never gotten swell-headed. So I give him that.
Mark Dial said that, Mark Dial, of course, was one of your players at TKR as well. Mark Dial, who is very close to Ali, I think you had both of them rooming on more than one occasion. He said that Ali has this love for gummy bears. I know you're a very meticulous manager, and you have to make sure that Colin Munro gets his chocolate before he goes out the back. Has Ali Khan asked for gummy bears?
No, he doesn't ask for the game, but I know he has a lot of snacks in his room. And he used to room prior to Mark. He used to room with a gentleman by the name of, Hamza
Tariq.
Yeah. So they were really good friends, really close friends. And both guys, they stay up late at night. They don't go out. They're not party boys. They're really good lads. But one thing they love is snacks. So we used to have to make sure and monitor the amount of snacks that they will have. Obviously, a gummy bear is not bad before a game. It gives a little sugar intake. But certainly have to monitor them. But they're young guys and they train hard, so the metabolism is still really high. But he's a good lad. He's a good lad. He doesn't ask for much, and that's important. So what is a gummy bear, you know, at the end of the day? So.
And of course, you said earlier on that Ali came out through the US Open T20 setup, which will be this year again. We're hoping to get it off and running on the 16th of December. It'll be the 12th edition of this wonderful tournament. How critical do you think that US Open T20 tournament is for players in America?
I think it's great because players come from all around the United States. Players from as far as California, players coming from further north of America. The United States is a huge country. I think it's an opportunity for players to showcase and give themselves a chance at being looked at. Ali Khan is a perfect example. He was playing in a tournament, there's not large crowds, but he's spotted by international players and eventually ends up in CPL doing really well, where there's a viewership all total of about 220 million people. That tells you something, but importantly, competition is good. It's good to have people from California supporting California to build that sort of rivalry. Sport is also about rivalry. Without rivalry, you will have to create one. So it brings something to the table. Players want to represent something. And I think at the end of the day, after 12 or 13 years, top international players says that you're doing something right. So you guys are doing a good job on that, and I want you to continue. My hope is that it gets larger and people recognize it, and that it filters off into the smaller tournaments and that you can cover it. What you guys are doing now in terms of covering it is what it needs. It needs some exposure. People think that North America doesn't have cricket. North America has a lot of cricket. People play almost more days of cricket in North America than they do in the Caribbean. People don't know that. And there's a large contingent of persons from various countries and various backgrounds that play. Those are the learning tools for players in the embryonic stages to understand how to mingle with players from different parts of the world. They may not be top players, but they come from cultural backgrounds that are different. And that's really about how to harmonize as a group. And don't underestimate the value of that tournament.
Yes, and that tournament is actually for 12 years, has been sponsored by one man, not a single sponsor. That tournament is funded by Mohammed Qureshi, better known as MAQ. And you would have heard Ali speak about MAQ a lot. He's very close to MAQ himself. Have you ever met MAQ?
No, I spoke to him on the phone. Oddly enough, 2 years ago, I was in Florida and I tried to get a meeting set up with him. I was up there for 3 or 4 days and it was really important. I was supposed to go out to his house. I had to call back because my meetings ran late and we went back and forth, but he was very, very accommodating. And I'm hoping that the next time that he does come, I can in fact meet him. I know he had some representatives in Trinidad for an under-15 tournament, not this year, the year before, am I correct? But I haven't met him directly, but I've heard a lot about him. Players have spoken about him. I've read about him, and I've watched the tournaments that he's put on. And I think he's doing a good job because it's not easy to fund cricket tournaments on your own. It's a tough thing to do. You have to have a deep passion for it and a deep belief. And I think this is the opportunity where people must come on board these tournaments and support it.
Well, for the MAQ North Zone Classic, you were actually manager of the winning team, which was the North Zone team, I believe.
Right. Yeah. And I know I was representatives at the time. It was a great tournament. It was a great initiative because it meant he moved away from just North America and started reaching out into the Caribbean and reaching out to the younger players. I think that's important that you continue to feed those little tributaries because those are the ones that lead to the large stream of cricketers. And I think that was a great initiative. And on your behalf, and I have to say for you, that's great that you've worked with MAQ and used the opportunity to bring MAQ into Trinidad as well so the players get the opportunity to be exposed. What I would love to see is some assembly towards to North America. Don't underestimate it. They have some young cricketers up there that are quite handy. You know, and sometimes it's really difficult in Australia because it costs to build it. Remember, North America falls under our gambit in any event for CWI. So it's something that you want to continue to do to build that group of persons.
Definitely so. And speaking about MAQ's involvement in Trinidad and Tobago, the second edition of that North South Classic should come off later on this year once things go back to normal. It was a great initiative because you saw the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board. After that, that was the very first youth North-South Classic ever to be held in this country. And now the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board, they have North-South Youth Classics as well. And I know you played a big part. You actually took some of the youngsters around the TKR setup as well. And up to today, they speak about that initiative. We hope that you will be on board again this time. as you look to help us drive that initiative here in Trinidad. Colin, any final comments before we leave? I know that you have a lot of friends in America. You may want to send them a message in terms of the current pandemic.
Yeah, to all those who are in North America, particularly the cricketers, I'll start with all those who are the administration of cricket in North America. That go back and forth. 100% talent. You've got the ability. You have good coaches up there. All you have to do is start bringing it closer and closer together. I believe North America has the ability to do it. They have enough players. It's a large country. There's another generation. Ensure that the young generation also plays the game. Even if they can only do T20 and not be doing the longer version, because North American culture is a lot different. Introduce them to the game. It teaches you many things. One, discipline, but self-discipline, being able to concentrate for lengthy periods, and working alongside persons from various countries. I think that's important. So guys, keep up the good work. And to all my friends and family up there, we've been in touch. Continue to keep in touch. Love you. Look after yourselves. Hopefully the borders will open before the end of the year and we come visit. And if MAQ can have his next tournament, I'll be happy to come along and have a look again. And we'll try to continue to work with expressing our interest in building something in Trinidad and Tobago regarding that under 15 tournament. I think that's great. So congratulations to all you guys. Keep up the good work. We're here to support.
Well, I'm sure that you will be, an invitation will be extended to you for that US Open once it comes around in December. I'm sure that the chairman who looks on at these programs will see that, and you will be invited to come across. We want to thank you, Colin, for joining us today, and we want to wish you all the best with the TKR and all your other endeavors, of which I know you have many.
Thank you very, very much. And most of those trophies in the bag are not as managers. Those trophies are fun cricket. So I got those in my old age. You can buy them. Remember that, right? So
I like that. I was about to ask you if you were doing this interview in a sports store. You have so many trophies, but congratulations, Colin. Keep up the good work. So you have heard it there from the TKR manager, Colin Bourne. He spent the afternoon with us, giving us an idea of CPL and also his thoughts on American cricket. Please keep viewing MAQ TV as we continue to give you all the programming this afternoon. And during the pandemic, we have kept your company. We are going nowhere. We'll continue to be right here for you. Good afternoon.
Which is the most authentic cricketing league in America? US Open Cricket. Which is the most exciting cricket in America? US Open Cricket. Which cricket league has the higher number of views in America? US Open Cricket. Which cricket league has the higher number of players in America? US Open Cricket. Which cricket league has the higher number of teams in America? US Open Cricket. Which cricket league has the higher number of cash prizes in America? US Open Cricket. Get ready for the biggest cricketing event in America, US Open Cricket 2020, from December 16th to December 20th, 2020, at the Central Broward Cricket Stadium, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It'll be aired live on MAQ TV. Let's play 2020 in 2020.